Parashat Vayeira. So it says in Pirkei Avot, 10 ניסיונות נתנסה אברהם אבינו. אברהם אבינו was tested 10 times, ועמד בכולם, and he was able to overcome them all. להודיע כמה חיבתו של אברהם אבינו. Now that's a little problematic. להודיע כמה חיבתו של אברהם אבינו. For whom? For God to Abraham or Abraham to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? So the Rambam tries to bring our attention to the fact that the greatness of Avraham Avinu, and which is very interesting. Somebody asked me this today. The greatness of Avraham Avinu, it's not that he kept or fulfilled the whole entire Torah even before it was given, but in the merit that he was able to stand those 10 different tests that he was giving. So of course, what is the issue of the tests that he was giving? And in a way, what are the tests that we are all facing in throughout our lifespan? You know, each and every one of us has his own list of tests. So before that, we're going to make a bracha. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam she'akol nהיה b'dvaro. Amen. We know one of my son's favorite things to do is what the Midrash says in Bereshit Rabbah, that if you lost something, right? If you lost something, you could say, Amar Rabbi Binyamin. Rabbi Binyamin said, Akol becheskat sumin. Everybody is considered to be blind until HaKadosh Baruch Hu, ad she'HaKadosh Baruch Hu ma'ir et eineihem, until HaKadosh Baruch Hu opens their eyes, and you learn this minhacha. We learn this from here, from the pasuk says, Vayifkach Elohim et eineiha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu opened her eyes. What do you mean open her eyes? Her eyes were open all the time, but she didn't really see. So of course that refers to the story of Hagar. There was in the desert, and she's wandering in the desert together with Ishmael, her son. He has a high temperature. His core temperature is rising. They don't have any water, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu hears the tefillah of the child, because his mother left him. She abandoned him to die because she didn't want to see him dying. And it says HaKadosh Baruch Hu created her a be'er, created a well for her. But it doesn't say, right? The well was there. It doesn't say HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Yatzar la be'er, and then she went in and she drank this. The be'er was there. Vayifkach Hashem et eineiha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu simply opened her eyes. She didn't see the be'er, that it was there. So the Baal Shem Tov says, which is so beautiful, and I'm quoting, Shebesha'a shemenasim et ha'adam. When a person is being tested, notlim mimeno et kol ha'e'arot ve'hamadregot shelo. We remove from him, from heaven, they remove from him all his achievements that he had achieved until this point that brought him to such a high level, all the lights that he was able to see, all this understanding that he had. ואז הוא שרוי בקטנות המוחין. And then he is like in distress, in mental distress. Katnut mochin, you're very distressed. One of the things, of course, that we know that the Rambam says that having things that are organized and so on and so forth, Ishana, Dirana, and a neat house, a clean house, and so on and so forth, marchivin da'ato shel adam. Because when everything is cluttered, you're also thinking in a cluttered way. If you are a messy person, you're thinking in a cluttered way. So it's very important to be organized and to be clean. So when a person has an isayon, then we take it. And Of course, it is clear when a person is in a state of gadlut mochin. Everything is okay. He's nothing to worry about. Everything is working out fine. He has time to sit back and relax and reflect, and so on and so forth. So yesh lo dat, he has mind, he has light, he can see everything. Is not a problem. He feels very secure. He feels good about himself. Right? And in a way, maybe he can stand any kind of test, any kind of an isayon that comes his way, and that's not such a big chidush. Comes the Netivot Shalom, and it says, and I'm quoting, Ha'amidah ben nisayon, resisting and passing the test when be'et katnut amochin dafka. That's only when you are stressed. היא המבחן על מדרגתו האמיתית של האדם בעבודת השם. You could say, oh, I'm super froom, I have a long beard, I have a long coat, I have an expensive hat, I have a library of hundreds and of thousands of books. I am. You think you're so great. Of course, it's very easy for you. You don't have to worry about your kids are all super good kids. But a real person is being tested when he's really stressed. What decisions are you going to make? You're laughing, right? But what decisions are you going to make when you are stressed? Of course, and we all know it, that when we have a little bit of a stressful situation, the first thing that goes out of the window is
God.
Talmud Torah. What do you say, a bath?
God.
God. God is soon after. Talmud Torah, right away out. Rabbi, things are tough, I gotta go make parnasa. Ya chatul shekamocha. How are you going to make parnasa if you're not learning Torah? You think that if you're going to work harder, you're going to make more parnasa? Why are you showing HaKadosh Baruch Hu? HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to see really how committed you are to Him, to His Torah, to His lifestyle. So things don't work for you right away. Take Torah, put it in a bundle, shoo, out of the window like a grenade in Okinawa. Like, ow, that's it, in the trenches. It's out of the window. No questions, no Torah for me anymore. That's it, c'est fini. Oh, Rabbi, I have a test. Or Rabbi, I have this. My business is not going good, so I can't come to yeshiva. I'll learn on the subway. Rabotai, this is a recipe for failure. Anything that you do, don't give up on Torah. Your success in whatever you involve at that moment will depend on Torah. There was somebody here today, and somebody asked me, wow, he's a doctor? I said, yes, not only a doctor, he's an oncologist. He said, and he started to come to yeshiva. I said, what are you talking about? He came to yeshiva when he just started high school. When he started college, when he finished high school. And how about in medical school? I said, he came when he was in medical school. He came when he was in medical school. Yes. How about his rotation? I said, he came. I said, not only that, he took a year and a half to come to learn yeshiva. He left everything. When people were running to medical school, he said, you know what, I'm going to sit down and live for yeshiva. This person never compromised, not even once, on anything that has to do with Torah. He did not compromise on Shabbat. Oh, Rabbi, I'm a doctor, so I have to compromise on Shabbat. Never compromise on Shabbat. And in a way, never compromise on Torah, on Jewish values. Even when he was away. And I got to tell you this, his success is because of that. Right away, a rabbi, rabbi. Never compromise on Torah. Okay, so you're not making a lot of money. But tishtakel betalmud Torah. But you don't throw the Torah out. That's the only thing you have. Tomorrow the government decides to do something, to take all your money. You have no money. The government can decide until tomorrow to take the Torah. They can't. It's yours forever. Nobody will take it for you. No one. Lo ba'alam hazeh velo ba'alam haba. Did you see Dan yesterday what he said? Em ratzim ve'anu ratzim. Em amelim ve'anu amelim. So if your business doesn't work so well, there's one thing for sure you should not be cutting off is Torah. Why? הם עמלים ואנו עמלים. אנו עמלים לחיי העולם הבא, והם עמלים לחיי העולם הזה. אנו רצים והם רצים. They are running, we are running. But where are you running? You're running away from חיי העולם הבא. I mean, do you understand what you're saying? You had just a little test and you failed. You failed. But what is that? You want to learn Kabbalah. You want to be spiritual. You want to be mystical. Maybe you'll be mystic, not mystical. Maybe musty, but not mystical. You want to be mystical? Listen to what I'm going to tell you. That's the nisayon of the person. When you learn in Torah, pretend you're dead. There's no coming back from the other world. There's no leaving Torah. That's it. Well, Rabbi, my wife cannot change the diaper of the kids. Oh, that's too bad. Next time don't have kids. What can I tell you? No, change the diapers. Don't you have a mommy? Or you have a sister or something? Well, she doesn't know how to change diapers. It's terrific. I mean, it's the most ridiculous things I ever hear. I mean, you want to hear some, it's very sad, but it's a joke already what people tell me. Oh, my grandmother's yortzeit. I have to go to the yortzeit. To do what? To eat like a little pig? Come and learn Torah. It's better for your grandma. Chatulim. Anyway, so that test in when we have katnut mochim, when things are stressful for us, and you pass it, that's the real test. That's when you really see where you're holding. Not when everything goes your way. When things don't work your way. When you have arguments with your wife, let's see how much you really love your wife. How much are you willing to give up for her? Or you don't, or just like pretend that you love your wife. The real test is only when there's a great difficulty in front of you, or that the help in which you're going to be asked to, you have something here, or the help that you're going to ask you will require you to give up something great from your own. You need to help somebody, but you need to do something that is great to help someone. So are you willing? Let's see really what you're really worth. Everybody say, oh yeah, we bodies, yes. When I buy you, I don't know, falafel, or I'll buy you shawarma, well, we bodies. If I'm going to call you, that's at 3 o'clock in the morning, listen guys, I'm stuck somewhere in the van week. Can somebody come give me a ride? I'm sorry, Rabbi, I'm busy now. I'm tired. All of a sudden I have to go tomorrow to Minyan. All year long, you never a Minyan. And all of a sudden you have to make the Minyan. Great friends, with friends like this, who needs enemies? As a matter of fact, I'll tell you what, it's probably better to have enemies than to have friends like this. Why? Because here you think that these are people that are really your friends, and they're not. At least your enemies, you know how to deal with them. Think about that. And for us also, it happens many times that the solution is so close, is so near, is so right around the corner, and we simply don't see it. If we will only open our eyes a little bit, we will find many solutions, if not all solutions for all the difficulties. It's right there around the corner. Right there around the corner. So when a person is in a metziut of difficulty, he's not able to look around to the open space. He cannot see open space. All he sees is Mitzrayim, a place of matzor, of ongoing pressure and oppression and tightness. He's not bemerchav. He's not open. He can't really see it. And because of that, it's very difficult to create solution for the long term. Somebody will come to you and says, listen, rabbis, I'm very unhappy with my life and this, yet somebody's offered me a job that will give me a lot of money. So my first question to you, is that something you would like to do? No, but it's good money. So okay, so we sit down, we make a plan, we make a whole plan, we go see what he likes to do. Yes, I love it. And then he says, let me think about it. Next day he comes, he says to him, I decided I'm going to go with the money. You can make a plan. You can make a plan. Somebody comes make a plan for you, and that's why it's easier to go on the outside, because the person is in a different zone. That's why it's important to go to a person who is a dat Torah, because he's completely in a different zone, completely. So if you're not sure, you have a doubt, you have go to a Baal Esa, to go to a person who's is dat Torah, and he will guide you appropriately, because he's not involved in a situation. It's like going to a psychologist or something, just that it's free. The madrega the level in which we are striving to get in avodah ruchanit, in a spiritual growth, which is avodat Hashem, is that every single thing that we do will be not second nature, first nature to us. We always say, that's second nature to you. I don't want second nature when it comes to avodat Hashem. I want it to be that's my path. In other words, something that my soul will be anchored and used to do all the time, like an instinct. That's what I do. And as they say in Netivot Shalom, and I'm quoting, "Bechina she'ena tluya beha'arot ve'hasagot." Something that is not dependent. Your way you need to act is not something that's going to be dependent on, like, I saw the light all of a sudden, Mr. Bright Light, there you are. No, I mean, do you take it and say, hold, let me just hold in 1 second. Let me inhale in, let me exhale out. It's natural to you, right? You never think about your breathing. Unless you're doing Wim Hof or something like that. But we eat, we sleep, we breathe. So is Avodat Hashem, needs to be as natural to us like this. Natural. And I'm quoting Elashi, Chelek mimahutenu umetziyutenu. It's something from our essence and our reality. Unfortunately, to many of us, Derech Torah is not our reality and it's not our essence. It's secondary. It is a wrapping around our life. It's something else that we do, but it's not our nature. It's not something that became a part of us. It's not our essence. And life of Torah is not a reality. And I can say it. How do I know it? I mean, I'm not such a genius. However, the questions you guys ask, Rabbi, how about DNA? But science says. I don't care what science says. That's a reality. Derech halacha, the halacha determines the reality for me. I am a Jew, and the halacha is my guide. And the halacha is the reality, because I am a Jew. If I would deny halacha, if I would deny the Torah, I would deny myself, my own essence, and then I for sure need to shrink. Some of you might argue I need it now, but that's a different case. However, this is, and I'm quoting, Kemo she'adam ochel shotev v'yashen. I have such allergies, it's crazy. The same thing as a person eats and drinks and sleeps. You don't need to go to college to be able to eat and drink. By the way, I just want to tell you something. I was thinking about this. Hold on, let me drink some water. Thinking about all those reality shows that they have, cooking shows. I mean, there are more cooking shows, I think, than fake news, I think. Almost the same. With all these cooking shows, they took the pleasure of simple food. Everything has to be gourmet, and every cook that flips a burger is a chef. A person that cuts vegetables, he's a chef. What do you do? Cutting vegetables, you just came over the border for like a Mexican. I'm a chef. It's crazy, like regular food it's a dirty word to say regular food. Mommy's food is a dirty food, and that's the food you enjoy the most. Where are you gonna go? You're gonna go to some restaurant. They're gonna give you, this is aged meat that was aged in 16 months in, I don't know, some vacuum pack or whatever, and they're gonna give you something like the size of this. You go, woo, this is very good. Again, just if you like meat, which I don't, but if you like meat, give me a steak. I want a steak like this on the barbecue. Nothing better than that. Or I'm sous videing the fish. Take a fish, put it on the barbecue. It's delicious. Nothing better. If you want to know what's better than barbecued fish you're going to make on a bonfire when you go camping. Bunch of city rats. Go outside, go outdoors. Nothing like it. Nothing, right? Right? Am I right? 100%. Yeah, you can see. Better you smoke a salmon than you smoke a joint, yes. But, it's such simplicity. We don't want simplicity. We think we are so important. Nothing beats simplicity. Nothing beats simplicity. Nothing. Very simple thing. Now, and it's of course this is maybe for us it's like impossible. How can we grasp such a thing? How can we live in such a way that everything Hashem that we do, to reach the level of shiviti, that I contemplate on Hashem and everything I do? Well, you can argue with me. Well, this was a person like this one time that did, and his name was Chanoch, and he became an archangel. He was making stitches for God. But it's your attitude. I told you, my physical therapist gives me more time than they should. And of course, I always contribute that to my good looks. But then one time I asked, how come you give me so much time extra? He says, I give you what you need, for what you need, and then the rest I give for God. I was like, what? And sometimes it's another hour of physical therapy. That is for God. And they just do it. They just do it. People do it. So how come people do it and I cannot do it? Well, there's a problem with my attitude. So we need to make an effort, to put an effort to bring ourselves to such level of awareness of, as we said before, shiviti, whether it's going to be easy or it's going to be hard. That doesn't make a difference. When you do it like this, there's nothing hard because everything is for Hashem. And the Gemara even tells you that. The Gemara says, "Lefum tzara agra." The greater the difficulty, the greater the reward. Because you're doing it for Hashem, so what difference does it make? I mean, for example, for a person, let's say a person has a back-breaking job, I don't know, whatever he does, okay? But he knows that he's doing it so he's providing for his kids, he's providing for his wife. He has a tzanua wife, a wonderful wife that works also hard, raises the kids, lefi derech Torah. So she's not spending the money and doing nails and watching Kardashians like 50,000 times with reruns and so on and so forth, right? She's a tzanua woman, a Jewish woman. So for him, is it hard for him? Would he complain about his back-breaking job? No, I know why I'm doing this. It's for my kids. There was a song of such allergies. It's crazy. There's such a song with what's his name, Billy Joel. The Downeaster Alexa. He says, "I work my fingers to the bones," right? To bring food for his kids and to provide them with clothes. So this is not an issue. People will do it, and we can do it. Why can we do so for Hashem? It's because the attitude is not there. We see Avodat Hashem as a burden to us, as an obstacle for us, as something that is heavy, that stands in our way from doing whatever we want. And that's wrong. That's where we fail. So, as David HaMelech says, Shiviti Hashem lenegdi, tamid, always. Always. When it's hard, when it's easy, when it's good, when it's bad, it's always, Hashem of Hashem is in front of me. And when you do it like this, so everything is equal. There's no good times or bad times. Everything is equal. Everything is for Hashem. It's terrific. There's no such thing as a difficult test that I can't do. Oh, it's hard for me. How easy it is for us to get up in the morning. Easy for you, darling? No, it's not easy. You know why? Why it's not easy? Because you're not excited about going to it. If you, for example, going to be excited to, the problem is, when you feel you're going to be excited to go, you're going to be too old. You're going to be 67 years old. You're probably going to need a catheter already waiting for you in the doctor's office. That's why are you waiting until then? Every day, get up, excited, enthusiastic about the day ahead of you. Something is coming up. I'm right there. And David HaMelech, of course, ends the pasuk, Ki mimini bal emot. Hashem is on my right side. And why is Hashem is always with me? So I'm not going to fall. And if I'm falling, it's because I disacknowledge the fact that God is near me. And again, Yemini, pay attention to the word Yemini. So Chazal says, explain to us, that when I reach this level of Shiviti, or contemplate of Hashem, Hashem is going to be near me and I'm not going to fall. However, maybe we could say that the Shiviti, I'll contemplate Hashem all the time, is our dedication to what we call the right side. And without stumbling here or stumbling there. In other words, what's the right side? Is Midat HaChesed, Midat HaAhava. How much of Chesed are we willing to do? How much is our life oriented with Chesed? How much am I able? I'm able a lot, but how much am I willing to help a person? Not only a Jew, a person. Avraham Avinu did not say, "Excuse me, please, let me see. You're Jewish? I'll help you. You're not Jewish? There's no such thing. If you're helping, you have. Avraham Avinu was Baal Chesed. People are people. Kulam b'tzelem Elokim nivrau. Everybody was created in the image of Hashem. And not only for people, you have to be kind for animals because you're not allowed to. And comes the Torah tells you, Tzar Baalei Chaim. Don't torture animals. Why? It's also HaKadosh Baruch Hu created. What do you think? You're the master of the universe. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created them. HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes care of all animals. You're not supposed to. The Ari HaKadosh used to go to such level, he would not even step on animal or kill a bug or mosquito, even though he bit him. Everything is a creature of Hashem. Well, that's a level to be. That's a level to be. So it says it's a very, very interesting midrash in Midrash in Yalkut Shimoni. there was two kings. So Alexander the Great, also known as Alexander Mokdon, because he came from Macedonia. He wanted to see the wisdom of the king of Katsia, and you know the story. You don't know. Look at Yakut Shimoni. So two people came to him for a court case. So one person says, I bought a churba, like a shed, a fall-down shed for this guy. The other guy says, I found a treasure. That's why it's for me. It belongs to me. I found the treasure, it belongs to me. The other person says, the one who says, no, it's not true. I sold you the churba. I sold you the shed. I sold you the house. I didn't sell you the treasure. That treasure is mine. We're not getting to the halachic thing exactly who is this. So this king is thinking, and he says, he's thinking, okay, what to do? Because there weren't Jewish, so there wasn't an issue of kinyan. He says, all right, do you have a son? The guy says, yes. He says to the other guy, do you have a daughter? He said, good. Marry your daughter to his son, and the money is going to be for both of you. So everybody is happy, and everybody I call you fair, and so on and so forth. So Alexander the Great says, wow, that's amazing. You're a genius. The guy, you're so stark. You're amazing. Unbelievable thing. He says, I would kill both of them and take the money for myself. That's what we do. That's what we do. How many people do you know would like to make money out of people's misery? Of people's divorce? People get divorced. They want to make money off this. My father, Alav Shalom, said to me, he said, when he heard that I'm involved with Beitin and doing Gitin and doing this, he says, why? You should not be taking money out of people's tzarot, of people's sorrow. If you want to have bracha on your money, don't do it. Do it because it needs to be done. Don't do it for money. I said, okay, stop. Why are you making money out of people's pain? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. You have to understand, Rabotai, that creation was built is built on a relationship between opposing forces all the time. Everything has something that opposes it. If there is a plus in the electricity, there is a minus. If there's good, there has to be bad. If there's bad, there has to be good. If there's a male, there has to be a female. And then as a result of that, we create the kavem tzai, we create the baby. You have two males and two daddies and mommies, and it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? We have to have two opposing sides in order to create a center line. If you want to drive, if you're driving like a big open road and you want to go fast, you don't want to take the thing, take the middle line. The middle line will be easier for you to go. Find the middle line between the two extremes, and then that's where you should be going to. And that battle, the struggle always is between this opposing forces that creates tremendous amount of energy. And our ability, if we neglect it, it's going to come to destroy. But our ability to build is dependent on until what level this kavem tzai, that middle of the line, that connects between the two, that basically defines the two. This is the middle, so therefore this is going to be right and this is going to be left. How much of that is going to be under control, right? Which one? How is this middle line going to give every power, every side, the recipe to operate within the limit, appropriate limit? In other words, we all understand that you can't be super machmir, super strict with people. You can't be, right? Because people are going to snap. On the other hand, you can be super lenient with people. That's why we have the din. The din comes in the middle. Don't be machmir. Don't be mekil. Do the din. Be in the middle. So it's to confine. Even the chesed needs to be confined. If you're going to be such a generous person, I love to give tzedakah. So, okay, take all my money for tzedakah. The Torah says to you, Rega, Habibi, hey, stand shwaya. You can't do that. There's a limit on how much you're allowed to give. You can give. You should give. Don't be stingy. But if you give. The Gemara teaches us, Ad kama iten, right? So, chomesh. So give 20%, a fifth of his salary. That's ma'aser. Why? Because the Gemara is darshan, aser ta'aser. Double ma'aser. That means 20%. When you give only 10%, that's very nice, but no, that's such a big deal. When you give 20%, That's when you, according to the Gemara, all this concept of aser b'shvil tit'asher, you give maaser in order to be rich, that comes when you give 20%. But whatever you do, don't give more than half of your money, because then you're gonna need tzedakah yourself. So you see, it has to be confined. It has to be confined. And that kavem tzai, which defines it, makes an order. So the right will be on the right, the left will be on the left, and what connects them and puts them in order is the kavem tzai, is the middle line. And when there is no kavem tzai, when there's no middle of the road, you have destruction. When we're becoming even politically, we become two extremes, there is a chaos and there is destruction. We should be in the middle of the path. We should be in the middle of the path. And if that happens, the world cannot exist. Absolutely cannot exist. As a rule of thumb, Am Yisrael is called the kavem tzai. They have the three lines, but they are called the kavem tzai. It says, Ve'eitem li sgula michol amim. Sgula michol amim. Now, sgula is like the punctuation of segol. How is segol? Right? You have the two and then one in the middle. That's called segol. Am sgula, you are the middle line for me. Right? And the gimel kavim, which is the avot, is we have Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Avraham, tzad yamin, that's chesed. Yitzchak is the tzad small, which is the gvura, and Yaakov is the emtza, which is tiferet, which really comes and makes everything. It's not overpowering, but by creating the middle of the line makes the other side even more beautiful. And in our parasha, when we're talking about akedat Yitzchak, when the chesed and the gvura come together, as we say, there is the kavem tzai that comes up. And how do we say that? And that is Yaakov. And Yaakov, of course, is Midat Tiferet. So Chazal darshan that Yaakov also appears in this week's parasha. How is Yaakov appears in this week's parasha? Even before he was born, right? When they took Yitzchak, the Gvura, and what's his name? And Avraham Avinu Chesed, and they both were willing to be moser, the most dear things to them, to Akadosh Baruch Hu. By doing so, at that moment they created the Tiferet. And Yaakov Avinu is Mofia there. Where is Yaakov Avinu Mofia there? It says Vayevaka Atze Ola. Yevaka Atze Ola is the same letter as Yaakov. Yevaka Atze Ola. So in other words, before Yaakov Avinu was born, his koach in the world, his attribute in the world was already there, and that is why? Because that is the tikkun of the world. The tikkun of the world comes with Yaakov Avinu, when both of them moser nefesh. Yaakov Avinu is also called Israel. The tikkun olam has to come from us, from the Jews. That's why we have to be super careful. And if anything bad in the world, ultimately somehow is our fault, and it's correct. Because when we don't do what HaKadosh Baruch Hu writes, we destroy the word. Our job is to be a light for the nations, to create a Kiddush Hashem. Tikkun Olam is going to be done because of us, and we have to be very, 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 very careful about what is it that we do. And Rabotai, this is not something that you should take so easily. It's a very, very important thing. Now you think about the great position in which you will put in, and all of a sudden you will see that it's easier for you to connect, to do things for Hashem, because now you have to make sure, is that what Hashem really wants for me? And the answer will be yes, do it. You'll be no, don't do it. Now, you don't really need to be such a light bulb, to figure these things out. People think that the ability, I hate when people do this, to think outside of the box. What is this? It's like two cockroaches going like this. What's the outside of the box? But this ability to think different, maybe not so easy thing to do, but yet is a very important thing in life to do, is the ability to be successful, to be able to see things that others don't see. That's how we started before. To see things that other people don't see. In other words, to be able to release our view, the way we look at things, from the way we see things, let's put it this way, and to really see in a totally different perspective what things are. I'm going to tell you something. If you're going to tell me, and that's by the way why I told you many, many times, I like the wabi-sabi, concept of Japanese philosophy, Japanese lifestyle. And the more I looked at it, I really fell in love with this concept. And even when I paint and I look at this, I look at things not completely different. Why is that? Because beauty does not exist only on Ferraris, Italian cars, and French ladies, and fancy houses, and so on and so forth. Beauty exists everywhere. The problem is we don't see the beauty, we look at things. When we actually going to see things, not just look at them, we'll be able to see that there's beauty in everything. In old people, in worn out things. Right? I mean, you are kind of exposed to that somehow. Let's say, for example, what looks better? A brand new, spanking new pair of blue jeans or kind of worn out jeans? What will look better? A brand new leather jacket that smells like jacket, or you have this like worn out, heavy motorcycle, heavy leather motorcycle jacket? Mr. Z, when we were kids and jeans were expensive, people used to take the jeans and they used to drag them in the street. So they get worn out because to look nice jeans, it looks like, not jeans, that doesn't look nice. People used to take leather jackets with sandpaper, just go, to look like it's worn out. So you have this in you, but you never thought about that. And if you think about this all of a sudden, so what looks better? A 2000 Mustang GT or this Honda Elantra? Right? Kimasabi? Right? Well, what would look nicer to you? A brand new Dodge Rebel, or a I don't know, an old 1962 Willys wagon? There's no question. There's character. What's better, an old V8, or to have a 2.3 turbo, fuel-injected, superpower engine that will fall apart? Of course, the V8. See, you have it in you, but you never bother to put it down because the world doesn't want you to look at things as beautiful. Because like this, they can sell you new things. Beauty is everywhere. You need to change the program, the chip in your brain that sees things different. However, there is depth in everything. And there is money to make in the most simple of all ideas. For example, if let's say, for example, we have this great idea. Every driver will be responsible, every driver on the road will be responsible to send his report to the other drivers if there is a nasty police car hiding, if there is a camera, speed trap. I hate all these people. I hope the mayor hears that. Maybe he'll learn something. When there is congestion in traffic, when there is a crash, and so on and so forth. I'll benefit from your information, and you benefit from my information. And then that simple, very, very simple idea, we can go to Google and company, and we can sell it for $1 billion, and we can call it Waze. Waze is a very simple idea. But yet it was so simple, none of you were able to think about it. You get after something, yes! Like any other great idea, was very simple, but your eyes were close to it. And it's a very simple idea. It's not like sending a rocket to the moon. It's just like an app on the telephone. $1 billion. So that machshava, that thought, which is a simple thought, was already there beforehand. In creation, even before creation of the world. We just be able to see that guiding hand in it. And then all of a sudden, I know Kung Fu. Your eyes are open. You didn't know this. I can learn Torah. I can learn Gemara. Gemara is Aramaic. It's not for me. Not for me. All of a sudden, you work. You're like, hey, it's not a problem. I can do it. If he can do it, I can do it. And before you know, you're able to take Gemara, read it, do whatever you want with this. It's all there. We have this. But then, of course, what is that we need this Nisyanot? Why do we need all this test, HaKadosh Baruch Hu? What's the purpose of that? So the Chassidut teaches us that the Milah Nisayon, right, which most people say is an experiment, test, and so on and so forth, really comes from the word Nes. Nes, besides being a miracle, is also a flag, right? A flag, right? Nes Harim is a flag on the mountains. It says, as it says in Tehillim, Natata lirecha nes lehitnoses. You gave a flag to your believers to wave the flag. We are flag wavers, you know. And the Midrash, Rabbi Yossi HaGlili says on the pasuk, "Va'elokim nisa et Avraham," and God tested Avraham, right? Gidlo kenes ze shel sfina shu gavoa meod v'nira lemachok. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to test Avraham in order to lift Avraham above everybody. There will be like a flag that is on the mast of a ship that you can see it from distance. So Avraham will be raised up and praised, and all people will look at him. The test was for him. The test was for him. So on that, the Netivot Shalom says, "Anisyanot asher natata leyirecha," those tests, so-called, that you gave to the followers, "Hema matana min hashamayim kedei lenasanu legodlan litramem u'lit'alot." Those tests that you give us, the difficulty that you give us, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, those tests and difficulties you give us is to bring us up, to lift us up, to elevate us up, and to make us superior. So if things don't work for you at work, and things are difficult for you at work, and you know, says, why is HaKadosh Baruch Hu doing this to me? Why is he putting me in this situation? I gave Meiser, I should be rich. Why is it so hard for me when other people are breathing and they're making money? I'm sweating blood and I'm losing money. Why? Don't say why. Why? Why Delilah? That's a Tom Jones music song. That's not for you to ask God why. You know this song? It's like a Kumbaya song. Delilah, right? You sing too many songs, you end up like Shimshon with no hair. Delilah like poke his eyes. You should say thank you. Mima'amakim keraticha Hashem. From the bottom as I call you. I'm never going to stop calling you HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So if things are hard for you and you're not making money, it's a test that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving you. So and why is the test? It's like I gave somebody a test recently. I said the test is not to fail you. The test is not to stumble you. The test is a celebration of your knowledge, that you could show others and yourself that you have the ability to process this information and to bring you possess this knowledge within you. It's to bring you up, not to fail you. Tests that were meant to trick the people, to fail them, are not worthy to be called tests. They are stumbling blocks. And maybe all the schools should listen to that instead of tiring the kids, especially Jewish kids, to no end. Schools think that the more difficult they are, the better they are. I tell you, the worse they are. They don't tell the kids that they have the ability. They want to show them that they're superior. So maybe some of these teachers should go to therapy, because they feel good by failing the students. They are there to serve the students, to encourage them, to show the students that they can learn and they are able, not to fall them down. Oh, the more difficult the test, the teacher is the best teacher. No, he's the worst teacher. A teacher should inspire his students to learn, to show them you can do it. Hey, but you know, if we only think like this, we will be in a totally different place. In terms of yeshivot as well, we will be in a different place. You want to tell me, do you really believe that HaKadosh Baruch Hu would deliberately create a person that is defective, that cannot learn the Torah? On a level like Moshe Rabbeinu, do you really believe that? If so, I think you're an Apikoros. Why don't you believe that any kid and any Jew is capable of learning? I mean, the Rambam says that. Maybe not be a Navi, a prophet, but by all means go be a Talmid Chacham. Why, you can only teach a certain level of kids, so therefore you're a failure as a school. I'm sorry to say that. Everybody's capable. Everybody's capable. Well, of course, if you fail the test, so-called, you don't want to raise yourself up. You don't want to be the guy that people are going to say, oh, you know this guy, he went to this school, this is a loser school, and he became such a big, wow! That's exactly what it was meant. It was hard for you. You sat down, you work hard, and now you know more than your principal. Baruch Hashem. But what are you going to say? Oh, Rabbi, I got to go to work. I'm going to make a little stinking $2.25. It's not for me. For that, you are super humble. It's just not for me. You're going to be here every single day, sweating, working hard. And then you're going to see all of a sudden, wow, oh, this Talmid Chacham. You're going to be a flag. The people are going to look up to. That's why flags we look up to. We don't look down at flags, we look up at flags. You're going to be the flag that people are going to look up. He went to that school, man. I went with him. Yes, I became a millionaire. Look at him, Talmid Chacham. I cannot learn a Gemara, but look at this guy. Who would think in high school it was a dingbat? But now it's Talmid Chacham. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You failed the tests. You failed the test. What do you mean failing the test? You telling the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I don't want, it's a stira, it's a contradiction. In one hand, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says this, I'm going to give you this test, I'm going to lift you up. I'm going to bring you up. And he said, I don't want to. And then you go, I want to be a big shot. So make up your mind. Are you going to be at the bottom? Are you going to be, what do you want to be? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is guaranteeing you to be up to the flag. People look up to you. But you don't want a Kadosh Baruch Hu? Well, yeah, I think you got a problem. So which is very important thing. It says those dragot, right? Hanisyonot, the Tivot Shalom says, Hanisyonot, those tests, Magbiim HaYehudi, they lift the Jew, le dragot ilayot, to superior things, to high levels. Because all of a sudden he says, I can do it, I can overcome it, I can do it. People say, wow, it's amazing, tremendous Kiddush Hashem. Those levels you are not able to achieve, those levels of greatness, you are not going to be able to achieve on your own. It doesn't care how much you meditate, how much you learn Kabbalah, you can know the Ari, you can know the tiger, you can know whatever you want. You are not going to reach this level. And that's why a lot of people that quote-unquote learn Kabbalah, I just did that quote-unquote, learn Kabbalah, are a bunch of losers. Why? Because they think they are there and they're really there. Through difficulties. You don't know Gemara? Okay, there's no such thing I don't know. Why the Kadosh Baruch Hu gave me the Torah? For me not to know it? For me not to learn it? So guess what? I'm going to learn. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to learn. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told me, the Torah Shali. It's my Torah. It means I'm able to do so. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not going to ask me to do something I can't do. You understand that, Mr. over there at Borough Park? So it's nothing to do, oh, I have a learning disability. How do you have no learning disability? You need a kick in the rear end disability. You're able to do it. You're able to learn. You don't want to learn. You don't want to be up. In your fantasy world you do. In reality you don't. And there's a very clear picture. And when it says zchut, the zchut, Milashon zikuch, purification. A person gets a zchut because he purified him. The zakek is to purify. Shemen zach is pure, clean, cleansed. So those tests that we have are able to clarify the materialistic, cloudy essence that is inside of us, cleanse our midot, in order for us to advance further in Avodat Hashem. So if things are hard for you at work, don't run away from Torah. Make sure that you don't skip on Torah regardless of what you do. You're going to fail. Oh, Rabbi, can you give me a test for Rabbanut? I'll become a rabbi, but I want to do I don't want to do a test. Just give it to me verbally, and please don't make it long, because I'm only able to write one line to Shuvot. No, but I can't. So don't be a rabbi. And no such thing as you can't. You don't want to, because you don't want to put the work in. This one bothers you. Your grandmother calls you. Your wife calls you. Your dog calls you. Your uncle calls you from the grave. Any excuse in the world will do. Sit down and learn Torah, and then you see you can. You don't learn, you won't get it. You're still in a level of darkness. So therefore, and this is why, in order to reach Dvikut b'Hakadosh Baruch Hu, in order to attach yourself to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, and therefore all those tests. The Hakadosh Baruch Hu, the 10 tests Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave Avraham Avinu, and because of that he reached the level. It became really a flag of billions of people. Avraham Avinu, because of him, yes, not only Judaism but Christianity and Islam are all descendants of what Avraham Avinu did, breakaways from his path, but it's all because of him. Still, somewhere along the line, they all have the faith in one God. And this is only, and all these things is coming to us, our test also, to change the reality in humankind. We need to bring the midah of ahava, love. We don't have love inside of us. We have a lot of lust, but we don't have love. We are very selfish people. We don't want to be part with everybody else. We want to control everybody. But we are so weak, so we can develop love. Weak people, Sam, write this down. Weak people cannot love. Strong people can love. Because a strong person is not afraid to become a part of somebody else. And that's love. Becoming one with someone. So if you have two weak people or one weak person in a relationship, you're going to fail. There's not going to be love in your relationship. If you're going to have one strong person that determines everything to the other person, there would not be love in this relationship. There can't be one overpowering the other. There has to be one supporting the other, one giving up for the other. Not my way or the highway. My way, your way, our way. You're not going to have love. You're not going to have love. And this is the problem that we have with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We don't want to do what He wants. We don't do our things that He asks us from love. And therefore there's no love to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We don't love Him. And we fail. You think that if you're going to work hard, you're going to make more money? Who gives the money? HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives the money. Who are you fooling? And that's what it says. Kol ha'ava she'tluya badavar, any love that is dependent on something, batel hadavar batla ha'ava. This thing goes, the love goes. V'she'ena tluya badavar eina betela ha'olam. If love is dependent on nothing, love is love, it's ultimate. So therefore, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. In other words, love that is dependent on the moods of the person. Right? When he feels good about something, everything goes his way. Oh, he loves God. Akol tov v'yafe God. I'll be kovea itim la Torah. I'm going to steal time for the Torah. But when things don't go your way, you take the Torah, you take HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you throw them all out in recycle, right? So therefore, when things don't go away, there's no more love to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then you're going to always be in bechoshech, in darkness, and katnut mochin, in small-minded. Love like this is not considered love to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Only love that is an ultimate love. This doesn't depend on if I'm going to make a lot of money, I'm going to make a little money, if my wife likes me or my wife doesn't like me, if my kid likes me or my kids don't like me, if I'm going to be famous, I'm not going to be famous. Nothing of these things. I just love God because I love God. Only love like this, only something like that, you're going to be able to be in greatness. You're going to be in light. You're going to be able to see something. You're going to feel that HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves you all the time because you're one with Him. That was the level of Avraham Avinu. That's the level of Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu was praised because of Chibato Elav. Because not only God loved Avraham Avinu, Avraham Avinu loves HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So, we're talking about a person, and I finished with this, a person that had a lot of sheep in his house. Every single day, he was living somewhere in Montana. Every single day, he used to chase after his sheep to bring him back into the corral. He'll bring him back in. So one day, one of his friends comes to him and says to him, "Excuse me, why don't you fix the fence so the sheep would not run away?" He says, "You're crazy. I don't have time. All day long, I'm running after sheep. I don't have time to fix the fence." And that's exactly what happens to us. This is exactly what happened to us. The whole entire world is busy in closing things. Oh, he brought it to a closure. Right? To close things, to finish, and so on and so forth. But they're not able to open their eyes. What's the reason for this closure? I'm trying to close the month in a good way. I'm trying to finish the year. What's the purpose for that? What did you get out of this? It's purposeless. It's pointless. So basically your whole entire month, a year, a week is all a waste. All you need to do is to bring your head up. Lift your head up. When you look up higher, all of a sudden you see more light. You're going to see things completely different. You're going to see if your actions are directed into a good way or directed into a bad way. Bring yourself over this chaos. Remember, we did a small video about this. Bring yourself up. Look at yourself up from outer space, and you see how insignificant are all these things that we fight on and we scream on and we yell all the time and we get aggravated. When you go up to space, you don't see somebody cutting off somebody or so on and so forth. You see overall the planet. Is it a good planet or a bad planet? So bring yourself up. Lift yourself up. There are going to be some difficulties because gravity will pull you down. But once you're able to break away from gravity, you are cruising in absolutely speed, in most fantastic way. You are out of orbit of the sun. You're out of the earth. You're out of gravity. You are floating in space. You can see things different. So that's my thing to you. Bring yourself up from the mud and the murk. Break away from the gravity. Don't let the hardship of life sink you down into the mud of what we call life. Clinch onto the Torah. Clinch onto the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Develop your love to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And all of a sudden, everything else looks completely different. You're going to be worthy to be called a child of Avraham Avinu. Shabbat Shalom.